Wow, Jesus, God, and hell. Let's see, hell on earth, right? So we make hell on earth for ourselves.
Do we?
Yes, we do. If we make a wrong decision, make a wrong turn.
So hell doesn't exist as a place where you go and burn?
Only if you happen to be playing with matches.
Okay.
Drunk. But anyway, let's get to God. Okay, now and this is a formula for...
whose notion of God are we getting to?
That's very good. My notion of God.
Okay.
And not your God, because you don't have a God.
Right.
But I do have a God.
Okay, I didn't know that. You might not have had a God, and you might have wanted to talk about somebody else. But we're going to talk about your notion of God.
Okay, placebo.
Sure.
Okay, the placebo effect.
Mm-hmm.
So if I make mistakes and I don't have the answers, okay, the placebo effect allows somebody to cure themselves not knowing that the cure is a fake.
No.
No? Isn't that the
The
placebo?
placebo effect isn't something that allows you to cure yourself. The placebo is the fact is demonstrates that people are the ineffectiveness of an actual medication. If I'm going to try and find out whether
there's a grain of truth to what he's saying, right? That if there is a cure and you were given a placebo, potentially you cured yourself, right?
Well, okay.
So if
sure.
I believe in God, okay, so if I believe in God and you don't believe in God, then I have that placebo effect in my favor and you don't.
Well, there's a confirmation bias, right? So if something good happens to you, it was God. If something bad happens to you, well, the devil got in there. Or
Interestingly,
it was God's will or whatever, right?
Whatever.
You're right. You get this so-called confirmation bias, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, on the drive in here today, the traffic was really bad on I-35.
Right.
And despite this, and I was worried that I might be late. Despite this, my lane cleared up completely, and I hit every traffic light green so that I didn't have to stop once all the way to the studio, and got here 15 minutes before I thought I was going to.
Sign from God.
Now, if I was a believer wanting to buy into that confirmation bias, I'd immediately say, wow, somebody up there is looking out for me.
Yeah.
When we can go and demonstrate that, no, those lights were going to change when they were going to change. And by the way, how do I get out of this? I mean, the whole traffic problem to begin with, if somebody was looking out for me, there wouldn't have been a traffic problem. The only conclusion that I can draw from that is a negative one that says that if there are people out there who are praying for me to miss this show, their prayer failed. That's the only conclusion I can draw.
Hey, this is a very important discussion that you're having, too. So that's the way I see God. I see God as an ability to not exactly get myself out of situations, but...
What exactly is your concept of God? Because right now my perception is that you have a non-standard concept of God that roughly equates to a placebo effect and therefore isn't anything more than that.
When you wrap it up all in the unknown, when you wrap it up in what is your definition of God, or do I define God as a gray person up in the sky? No. Do I figure God is within my consciousness, since I am the ruler of my universe, and I have somebody with me or something with me that is higher than I?
Well, if you're the ruler of your universe, so you're talking about a God that transcends your universe, what can he actually do?
What you said, he.
It. Sorry.
She, whatever, yeah.
I was trying. What can your God actually do?
My God? Actually, long pause. Actually, what can my God do?
In interacting with this universe of which you're the master, can your God do anything?
Well, I think collectively, let's say, if we collectively believe in God, everybody, then maybe we all will rise to a level which is God consciousness. You start getting into the dualism of
I don't buy it. Sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna have. It seems to me that you've bought into a concept of God that to me doesn't sound that much like a God in the first place. But this all of it's wishful thinking. You're hoping that if you buy into this, that you'll ascend to some higher consciousness without any evidence that there is a higher consciousness to ascend to, or that your method can achieve that. It's just wishful thinking.
Well, how about the dualism of the soul, or how about the dualism of the spirit?
What about it? You have to demonstrate that a soul actually exists.
No. Okay, I didn't mean soul. I mean spirit.
What about, okay, spirit, you've changed the word. What exactly you're claiming?
Okay, the dualism. We have the constructive and the less constructive within ourselves. We can either do things less constructively and less harmoniously, or we can take actions that are more constructive for our future or more constructive for society itself.
And we use reason to do that.
And how is any of that evidence for God? I mean, in your dualistic sense, I mean, you could just be referring to, biological versus consciousness, which I would go ahead and just say is an emergent phenomena from the biological, as a materialist. But when you start talking about these dualistic notions as a justification for your positions, you still haven't actually demonstrated the metaphysical aspects of what you're talking about.
Yeah,
the fact that we can do things in different ways doesn't mean that there's any higher consciousness to be had.
But we can either do it constructively or less constructively.
Sure, so let's do it constructively. But if I do things constructively, how is a God or a soul or a higher consciousness remotely relevant to whether or not I act constructively?
Okay, within yourselves, you have the answer, the right answer.
To what?
To anything that you do.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Oh, come on.
I don't have the right answer to 893,653 times 742,323.
Of course not. But you have the answers to. The next step that you take, whatever you do, you can either do it constructively or less constructively.
Sure, but that doesn't mean I had any answers ahead of time. Life is a learning process. I don't know everything. Everything's not within myself. I experience life, and I bring in information, and I make conclusions and learn things.
Yes.
I don't have the answers ahead of time. And none of that still leads to this notion of higher consciousness that you're talking about. You're positing something that is nothing more than wishful thinking. Okay,
let's just say higher consciousness. Let's just say more positive way of thinking.
Okay, I can be more positive. I can be friendlier every day.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, I can be friendlier every day, and we still have come nowhere near anything supernatural, higher conscious, or God.
Well, I don't know how you... within the definition
Sure,
of
I'm looking at your higher consciousness as metaphysical. If you want to reduce... Hang on.
I'm not going metaphysical.
Okay, then your higher consciousness, you're just talking about being nicer.
Yeah, like Buddhists.
Okay, why call that God?
I don't.
Okay. So how does your God, how is it remotely relevant to you being nicer? Can't you do that on your own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Useless God.
No. We have.
Yes.
We have the answers within ourselves.
Yeah, so you say. Okay. Can you demonstrate that we have the answers within ourselves? And answers to what questions? All you're advocating is being nicer. Look, I don't have a huge problem with you having your philosophy. Anybody can have whatever philosophy they want.
Right.
And I think yours is probably, for you, probably not very harmful and maybe a good thing. And there's a lot of other people that can latch on to being good. But I don't see any need to attach anything that remotely qualifies as a God or supernatural to just being good or being better or working together to make us all better. It doesn't. We don't need that.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a good debate. I like that.
Thanks, sir.
Nonetheless, I will believe in my God.
And I'll support your right to do that. What I won't support is your right to force that belief on anybody else.
I won't.
Or force decisions made on behalf of that belief on anybody else.
Rest assured.
Thanks, John.
Thank you very much. Bye.